how does the New Start program work? Like how many days and what do people do? Just an overview.
Sure. So our traditional program is an 18-day program, lasts 2.5 weeks, and it is a time where people come and learn to change their lifestyle, and we see dramatic results in overall health. If people have specific health problems, then we work more intensely on those. We use exercise and hydrotherapy and diet changes, sleep enhancement, all of those things to try to help people to start to capitalize on the best potential their bodies have.
Cool. And how much guests you can handle at one program at once?
So it's variable because it depends on how many couples we get versus how many single guests we have. But typically we can handle between 22 and 30, just depending on the mix.
Wow, okay. And that means that now on the staff side, how many staff do you need to handle that amount of people?
So we have about 5 nurses who work with us. We have about 5 hydrotherapists who work with us. And then we have a director, an assistant director, myself as the medical director. We have 2 other physicians who work with us. We have a chaplain who works with us. So we have a fairly diverse staff.
Also cafeteria, I guess.
The cafeteria, they don't directly work for us because they work for the whole institute.
Okay.
We also have housekeeping that works for us. So yeah, there is a fair number of people that go into making a program work, and we're blessed because we really have fantastic staff, very mission-minded, and it's a blessing.
Oh, let's focus on that. I like that. Staff that is mission-minded. So would you recommend just to get anyone just to cover a position? Is it important that absolutely everyone has to have a mission-minded mind? Like even, for example, someone that comes to just give a massage to maybe a guest.
So I think it's important to have people who are God-fearing and mission-minded, because it makes a difference. Our guests so frequently say to us, we've never been to a place like this. Everybody is happy, they're smiling, they say hello. And then we're not just talking about people who work in our program. As the guests walk around campus, they see students, they see other staff, they see visitors, and people are just generally friendly. They tend to be happier, and people who have been in the world just are shocked and amazed to see that, because that's not very common outside of an institution like this. And so I think it's important to have people who are believers and who are mission-minded. We do a lot of prayer. Dr. Andrew Newberg at the University of Pennsylvania did some research and found that the brain actually lights up, the frontal lobe lights up when people pray. And he looked at different forms of prayer, as he calls it, including meditation and things like that. And they found that Judeo-Christian prayer, what we consider typical prayer, gets the most blood flow to your frontal lobe and actually makes more neurochemicals be released into your brain. So we pray with our guests before we massage them. We pray with them before we have a doctor's visit. We pray with them before we have a lecture. And I think those things really touch people. They see that the spiritual component is very important. In our program we found that the spiritual component is the thing that helps people to stick with the program. You can go to many places and learn about health, but a lot of places leave out that spiritual component. And we find that the spiritual component really helps to give lasting change.
Thanks. Now, we're going to change the topic radically. Now,
Sure.
Thinking on my friends that maybe they want to start something. Because I've seen the NEWSTART Lodge here. It's big, it's enormous, you have a bunch of space, treatment rooms, etc. But for someone who's starting, what would you recommend that would be like, what should they start? Like, should they start like maybe trying to get a jacuzzi or a massage table, or what would be like the essentials to start something?
Well, I think the first thing to start is pray. Pray a lot and ask God to lead you. But it depends on your environment. I think simple things that can be done are teaching people how to make simple changes. Teach them how to cook a plant-based meal, you know. Have them come to your house and see how you cook and share that with them. And when they taste food that tastes good and is healthy for you, people will be more motivated to make changes. Teach them that they need to drink more water, you know. Water is very important to improve overall health. Teach them to get some exercise. And what I tell people is start where you're at. If you can only walk for 10 minutes, do that. And then gradually start increasing. Go do that for a couple of days, then maybe go to 12 or 15 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever you're able to do. But as you gradually increase, you'll find that your health will start to change, you will feel better, and you'll see a difference in your life. So I think just teach people simple things. You know, the ways of God are simple. And so if you want to start something, you don't have to go out and buy a big building. You don't have to go out and buy a lot of equipment. Just start with what you have. You can do hydrotherapy in 5-gallon buckets, you know, have people put their feet in 5-gallon buckets, have hot and cold, and you can do it. It doesn't have to be fancy to start. And then once you get started, then you can add as the Lord provides and as He leads.
Now, for the ones that already have maybe a lifestyle and they're in a good size, you know, they're being profitable, maybe stable, self-sustainable. For you guys, what for example, what equipment do you have that it's been like, oh man, has been so effective or so good?
That's a good question. You know, I think in terms of equipment, the things that really have been beneficial for us are the things that we use for hydrotherapy and massage, because those are the things that people really can see a tangible difference. You know, they go and spend an hour or an hour and a half in hydro, and they come out and they feel so much different. So I think that equipment, from an equipment standpoint, is something that's been very valuable for us.
Okay, hydrotherapy then.
Yes.
Equipment, that was very, very, like it made a difference for you guys and the guests.
It does.
as well.
It definitely is helpful.
Great. Now, thinking now on my friends that maybe they are physicians and they're like, I'm already a physician, so now I just need to know how to use the 8 natural remedies. Maybe, you know, they don't need to go through a home training course. And you guys have something for them.
We do. We have a program we call a professional observer program, where health professionals, and it doesn't have to be a physician, it could be some other health professional, but they can come and go through a program, an 18-day program with us, and get to observe firsthand what we do, how we do it, why we do it, and see the changes that people make and see the end results in terms of what happens with their health. So, of course, there's a charge that goes along with that. Because we house them and feed them and teach them and so on. But yeah, that is an option for those who want to learn more.
Excellent. So friends, all of that, if you want to know more about that shadowing program, can we call it a shadowing program?
Sure.
You can see all of that in the link in the description below. You're going to have the link there where you can get to know, you can have more information on how you can come and participate in the program. And maybe you can start a lifestyle center, or maybe if you have one, you can even get better. And now to close, let's close. And I want you to have now the time to talk to them. What would be your advice to someone that is wanting to get involved in all of this and maybe wants to start a lifestyle center in their country that maybe they don't have, maybe in Africa, maybe in Asia or South America, I don't know.
Sure. So what I would say is you want to develop a plan, have a goal of what you're trying to do, and then start small and allow God to bless and allow Him to show you ways to help people. But I think that's the key, is you want to be a servant to those who are in need. And however you do that, whether it is teaching them to cook or teaching them how to change their health or just, you know, taking care of somebody, those opportunities are not only to help them physically, but also to help them spiritually and hopefully give them eternal health. And so I encourage you to look for opportunities. Pray and ask God to show you ways that you can impact those in your circle of influence, and use it as a way to share with them the love of God.
Thank you. Friends, so now you know, if you want to know more about the New Start Lifestyle program or how to come here and learn, links in the description below. Remember also that OCI is here to help ministries thrive or maybe help you start one. So all of that also links in the description below. Thank you, Dr. Galan.
It's a pleasure.
And guys, see you on the next one.